So welcome back. We are talking about the dimensioning over the drawings, and we have initially discussed about the some important things related to the dimensioning, what is to be followed and what not is to be followed, even how to end the dimensions, means what is called as dimension, and how you can draw the proportional arrows for the drawings. So now we will discuss about the methods of indicating the dimensions. So dimensions should be shown on drawings in characters of sufficient size to ensure complete legibility. They should be placed in such a way that they are not crossed or separated by any other line on the drawing. Then the dimension should be indicated on drawing according to the one of the following two methods. However, only one method should be used on any one drawing. So you cannot make the combination of both. Either you have to follow the aligned system, or you have to follow the unidirectional system. Now let us understand that what is aligned system. So in the first method of aligned system of dimensioning, the dimensions should be placed parallel to their dimension lines. Okay, first thing is that it should be placed over, this is your dimension line, it should be placed parallel to this dimension line. Okay, and preferably near the middle or above, means definitely middle, means this is the total length of the line, so this is the center line, center of that particular dimension line or middle portion. So it will be specified middle and above the dimension line. This is above the dimension line. Okay, and clear of the dimension line, means this is dimension line will be clear over there, and above that it will be specified this dimension. Dimensions may be written so that they can be read from the bottom or from the right side of the drawing. So either you are going to see that drawing from this side, the front side, which is called as the bottom side, or you can be in a position to read this drawing from the right side, looking from this side. So if you look from this side now, you can see that this is 30 mm. You can see easily. Okay, this is 70 mm, and this is actually from the bottom. If you see, you can read it 39 mm. Okay, so it is not possible to show it from the right side. It's always better to see it from the bottom, so you can read that particular 39 mm. Similarly, these 20 mm dimension is shown on the different lines. So in case of aligned one, you can see here, so it is angle 20 degree angle if it is a 20 or 30 degree angle. So here you can see this, it is specified like this, here it is like this way. Okay, for this one actually, from the bottom it can be viewed. This is also can be viewed from bottom, this can be viewed from bottom, this can be viewed from bottom, this can be viewed from right, this can be viewed from right, this can be viewed from again bottom, like this. Similarly, these angles are specified in this particular diagram. So angle 60 degree, this can be written from the bottom, this can be read from the bottom, this can be read from the right, you can read this can be written from the bottom, this way, from this direction. Okay, this can be written from the bottom again, this is from the bottom, this is also from the bottom, you can read it. Okay, so as far as possible it should be easy for us to read the drawings only in two directions, from the bottom or from the right. That is what is called as aligned method of dimensioning. So in this dimensioning, the dimensions on oblique should be oriented as shown. So this is nothing but oblique dimensioning. I already discussed this in the last slide itself. The angular dimensions may be oriented as shown in this. So angular dimensioning is shown like this, and oblique dimensioning shown is like this. Okay. Now in the second method, that is unidirectional method. So dimensions should be indicated so that they can be read from the bottom of the drawing only. So in this case, there is a restriction that the drawing will be read from the bottom only. Okay. So now here you can see this dimension. So 70 mm, it can be written from the bottom side. Means if you see from this direction, we can read that 70 mm quite easily. Now this 30 mm, in the previous case we were in a position to see it from the right side, but now we are expecting here that it should be from the bottom only. So we have to remove the some part of your dimension line from here and then write this particular letter at the center. Similarly here you remove some part of this dimension line and write this particular letter at the center or this number. So non-horizontal dimension lines are interrupted, preferably near the middle for insertion of this dimension. So this is what is shown here. It is interrupted and the number is shown over there. So angular dimensions may be oriented as shown in this particular figure. So angular dimension also, this will be interrupted here. So written will be 60. Okay. Here it will be interrupted and written 60. Here it is interrupted. Everywhere it is being interrupted, and from the bottom it should be, means all these letters will be vertical. You can see this. There is no inclination given to these letters here now. All the letters are vertical. While in this case it was rotated by, means in the previous case it was rotated aligned dimensions. Okay, so this is what is the unidirectional dimensioning. Also we can see on a other drawing, so where space does not allow placement at the interruption of a non-horizontal dimension line. Okay, so values of dimensions out of scale, except where break lines are used, should be underlined as shown. It means you will find out that in some cases the space over here is not sufficient to write that particular letters over there. Okay, so in that case it will be specified with a underline dash over there. Okay, also in the unidirectional system, the following indications, means in general for all other drawings also, the indications or the symbols are used with the dimension to reveal the shape identification. Means you will come to know the shape of that particular component by observing that particular symbol, and to improve the drawing interpretation, so you can improve the interpretation of the drawing properly. The symbols used will precede the dimension, so whatever the dimension is there, it will be preceded. Like if I have to show the diameter of any component, so I should write the phi there, so 55. Okay, then if I am specifying some spherical diameter, so sorry, uh, diameter if you have to specify, so I will be writing like this, phi 50. Okay, so whatever the dimension is of 50 mm, it will be preceded by this particular phi. If I have to show the spherical diameter, because if it is a sphere, in that case it is specified as a SQ, S phi, S phi, it means it is a S phi 50 mm. It means actually it is sphere of spherical dimension of 50 mm. Okay, well this is a cylindrical dimension, phi 50 means cylindrical dimension, S phi means, yeah, it is spherical dimension, and R is for the radius. So whenever you are specifying the R, you can see here this is R, R15, R10, so that is radius. And if it is SR, it means it is spherical radius. So you can see here S 550, it is spherical dimension. Here S R70, so it is spherical radius. Okay, so that is what is the difference, and this will be giving you more clear idea about exactly the what exactly the shape is of the particular component. Now how these different dimensions are arranged, so you can see here the arrangement of dimensions on our drawing must indicate clearly the design purpose. So there are different methods used, like the chain dimensioning is there, then parallel dimensioning is there, and superimposed running dimensions are there. So you can see here this is nothing but called as parallel dimensioning, means from here to here I have to show the length of 150 mm, so it will be shown like this. Then from now this total distance I have to show here, so this is called as 420 mm, here it is specified. Then this is 640 mm specified here, this is called as parallel dimensioning. Okay, or here from the origin if I am showing here, this is the length 150, from here to here it is to 420. Okay, total, and from here to here it is 640. So this is another way of specifying the parallel dimensioning using origin, and here you are using the different dimension lines. While in this case you will see that the 160 mm, 70 mm, 200, 30, like this they are shown in continuous. Okay, so and this is what is called as chain dimensioning. Okay, this is chain dimensioning from here to here, then another, this is another link from here to here, like this there is a linking between all the dimensions. These dimensions are separate, these are linked with each other, so this is called a chain dimensioning, this is called as parallel dimensioning, and this is combined dimensioning, superimposed. So here you will find out the total length is shown here, this is indicated here, this is indicated here, so combination of chain dimension and parallel dimensioning. Okay, now we'll just discuss in the next class about the different drafting tools. Means when we are talking about these drawings, so we have to draw these drawings very neatly, carefully and accurately. So for that we have to use the definitely a good quality instruments. So this is what we are going to discuss in the next class about the different drawing tools or drafting tools and their specifications. So we'll just stop here. Thank you very much.